Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
How are you?
I am so well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing really good. And I'm
Yeah.
really excited about today because we're going to do, I think it's like an old favorite of mine. It's an old song by Kansas.
I love this song. I love this song so much.
Carry on, my wayward son.
Oh, it's such a great song.
I also feel like it's very appropriate for the times.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, we've been through a lot the past 3 years. So let's
Yes.
carry on.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and read these lyrics,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
then we'll start our wonderful wisdom on these lyrics.
Absolutely.
Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason, my charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, well, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about, I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, and we know what they say. And then they end with, carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Yay.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's another, I feel like we keep feeling this, that once you read these lyrics, whether I'm reading them or you are reading them, they carry so much more power when we take the music away and we just read the actual words. Because I got to be honest with you, that last paragraph, I hadn't really looked at that very strictly. I had listened to the song and enjoyed it and never really paid attention to what those words necessarily said. And looking at it now, it really opens my eyes, because that had to be an intention.
Oh, yeah.
So that goes from basically eating your dessert first. So I'm sorry to everybody out there.
Well,
I don't mean
that's all
to
right. Let's
get
go ahead
ahead.
and look at that so they'll know. They'll be right on page with us.
Yeah.
Carry on. You will always remember. Carry on. Nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you.
It's beautiful.
I mean, for a long time, Bruce, I had a very spiritual experience about 18 years ago. And I have known for a long time that this is heaven. This right here. We are living heaven or we are living hell. It's our choice.
I agree.
You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
And you don't go anywhere, because my truth is when we do pass, we go back to just being the energy of love, of being God.
Absolutely.
That's my truth. So we are, as co-creators with the divine, here to create our heaven on earth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you remember that, then nothing equals the splendor.
Exactly.
The joy and the happiness that bubbles through your body at all times because you're just loving life. And even when those boulders get thrown at you,
absolutely,
you just kind of laugh and climb over it and keep on going.
When you get
carry on.
Carry on. Nothing equals the splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. And just as you said, surely heaven waits for you.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more. I really do think that's a beautiful line. And it is also a nod to the idea that we aren't the only ones that are looking at the song lyrics with the idea that they could have a deeper spiritual meaning. The people that wrote this song, the beings that wrote this song had that meaning behind it. I firmly believe that was their intention.
Oh, I do too. There are so many songs, especially the Beatles songs, and even Three Dog Night. We're going to be doing a lot of songs, guys. But I do believe it's called being inspired.
Yes.
In spirit. That's what the word inspired means. So when you're being creative and you're writing music or you're writing poetry or you're even writing a book, you're being creative. And that is the co-creative process of having the divine with you.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
That's our purpose, is to just be creative and to find your joy.
Find your joy, be the co-creator, and whatever it might be, because some people's creative juices get flowing with different tasks or different things that make their heart sing. And that is the important part of finding the things that make you feel like you are being creative.
Oh, exactly. Because a lot of people think creativity is just writing song lyrics or doing music or painting or the arts, so to speak. But no, it's gardening. It's surgery. It's being a doctor and knowing how to cut people open. I mean, there's so many different creative things.
I would have to say that the art of figuring out how to make something work, how to come to a conclusion that is good for a group of people when they don't agree together. There are certain things that we don't necessarily look at ourselves as being creatives. We just think of that as our everyday life. And actually, my wife, Andrea, is an example. She is a creative in how she can organize her specific railroad as the train dispatcher that she is. She has to be creative and do her job. Now, maybe it doesn't look like that to all those wonderful train dispatchers out there. Maybe they just think they're doing their job. But I believe that they have to figure out things and be creative in figuring those things out. And that's why I think that we all have our creative juices flowing when we are doing certain day-to-day lives, because a lot of our day-to-day lives is choreography.
For you, yes, it is. Wow. And we choreograph our whole life. So I believe that this is interesting, because when I look at this song, "Carry on, my wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more." To me, that's spirit speaking.
Absolutely.
That's the divine.
Absolutely.
That's love saying, keep going, take a rest.
Absolutely.
Please, when you've had enough and you're feeling that you need to rest, take the rest.
Take the rest.
Because, when we do leave these physical bodies, there is nothing but peace.
Nothing but peace and love.
Yes. So, and crying about your journey is the difficult part that I think humans have the most difficulty dealing with.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, here it is.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion.
Right.
Just to get a glimpse. Sorry to interrupt you, but just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion.
Right. So the noise and the confusion and the illusion is what so many people attach to, thinking it's their reality.
Yep.
Whatever's outside of them and whatever is happening, what they think is happening to them.
Exactly.
But nothing ever happens to you.
No, we happen to ourselves, basically.
Right. You have to understand that concept
Yeah.
in order to find your joy.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And to be able to turn things around, so to speak.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because even I find myself being extremely weary and needing and wanting rest, and I've had enough, of this being human thing.
Absolutely.
You want to call
Yeah.
it that.
No, I couldn't agree with you more.
So we're not immune. Nobody on this planet is immune from this, from what is happening. It's all in how we choose to see it.
Absolutely.
Do you see it as an illusion?
Yeah. Or
so
do you,
that you can move through it and say, okay, yeah, I hurt right now, but guess what? That's in my head. I'm creating this illusion. I need, I have a choice. I can pick myself up. I can keep on going. I can carry on.
I have a friend that used to love to say this, and good friend Stephen Karras used to say, pick myself up, brush myself off, start all over again.
Yes.
And, the reality is that we can choose to allow ourselves to just kind of sit and simmer or wallow in our own suffering or what we believe is suffering. Or we can choose to try to allow that to hold its own space, and then carry on, just like the song says.
Yeah. So when he rose above the noise and confusion and got a glimpse beyond the illusion, I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high.
Yes. I love that, because I can only imagine that once you rise above the noise and confusion and you get a glimpse beyond this illusion, that would make me high. That would make me feel like I'm in a different existence, almost transcending.
Yes. I do believe there is what a lot of people call a spiritual trap.
Yes.
And I think that might be perhaps what he's talking about here.
Oh, I get, yeah.
Because when you get to that place of ecstasy, we'll
being
call it.
Blissed out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's many mystics and teachers. Who was it that had to be carried around because he didn't walk? He stayed, he meditated so much he couldn't walk anymore.
Well, I know that eventually, I forget who it was now, I can't remember the name either, but
Was it Baba G or?
I think you're right, yeah.
Anyway, you can become too spiritual, I believe. That's my truth.
No, that's something that I would have to agree, because then our everyday ability to function in the world that is outside of us, or some of us like to call the 3D world, or this more.
It's actually the world we're in.
The world we're in, yes.
I mean, we're here, we're present, we're in an earthly body.
We are.
And we still need to be human.
And we need to be in this earthly body. And unfortunately, if you fall into a certain trap, you can end up just getting drawn away from this experience. And we still, I believe, I agree with you, Donna. My truth is that we need to be right here, right now.
Yes.
And not try to focus too much on leaving the right here, right now, because this is our right here, right now.
Ram Dass says
I know, I'm sorry, I'm just like saying it over it.
Yeah. But that's what it's about.
It is.
Mean, though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man.
Yes.
Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. So in other words, he couldn't get rid of the humanness of being human.
Yeah.
He still had those feelings, still, was a madman, meaning thinking he was crazy, or even getting angry at seeing everybody else not, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Folks,
Because
you know what I'm trying to say.
And the theme here too, he extends this theme from this moment in the song to later on, and it is the theme of yin and yang, or north-south, or opposites. And that is, though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Basically, it's almost, to me, you could look at that as almost the very first line of the Tao Te Ching, in the sense that the eternal Tao that is known is also not known, meaning what we know, we also do not know.
Yes.
And so in this case, that is a theme in this song, where he says, though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. Just admitting the humility of, yes, I can see, but I don't see. I'm still blind to certain things. Though my mind can think, I still was a madman. And to me, that's the two opposites, but also another hint at, though my mind could think, we sometimes sit under the shade of our thinking mind, wondering why we aren't getting any sunshine. And so I'm thinking that in the same way, he's thinking, though my mind could think, I still was a madman, in a more profound way than just to simply saying that it is the opposites. Yes, I can think, but I might be mad.
Right.
And so to me, I think that's something that he is hinting at there, because there's a theme of that moving on through the, and we get to the next line a little farther down.
Yeah, I hear the voices when I'm dreaming.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
To me, a lot of people talk about being woken up from the dream, that all of this is a dream. And I am learning that you can really dream. The dream, you can live the dream.
Yes.
Which is the dream of connection with the divine.
Absolutely.
That is the true dream, or whatever, the dream that brings you joy and happiness and everything. But when you're sleeping, is kind of like what I think, when most people think of dreaming, they think of sleeping, right?
Yes.
And when you shut the mind down,
you can still dream.
Right.
And
is when you hear the voices. In other words, spirit can speak to you
through many different ways, through channeling, through there's so many different options there that I hear the voices when I'm dreaming that they could mean.
Yeah.
There's so many different options.
Yeah. Yep. And the beautiful thing about it is they're supporting. And even in this song, it's very supporting.
It's all
carry
to,
on,
yes, carry
my
on.
wayward
And
son. There'll be peace. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't cry.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They're always, that's what I love about this journey, about this beautiful experience of being human.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that I know Spirit's got my back.
Absolutely.
I know that I have so much trust and faith now that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything always works out for me.
Yes.
And I've got people. I mean, I can't see them and I can't hear them, but I know they're talking to me because I feel and I just think that I should do this. Oh, I need to do that. And it comes like that.
Yes.
And that's the divine.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's our help.
Oh my gosh.
So how do we masquerade as a man with a reason?
Well, I think he defines that in a way by saying my charade is the event of the season. And I think that what he's saying is my masquerade, my mask and my costume and my masquerade as a man with a reason, saying I have this presence or this persona, And then my charade, alluding to that masquerade and that persona, is the event of the season, as if it's a very dramatic and obvious illusion that he's or they
Awesome.
are referring
Yeah.
to. And then basically, I feel like that is then an allusion to then what he says next. And if I claim to be a wise man, well, it surely means that I don't know. And I feel like this is the humility, the idea of humility that a lot of people resonate with, in the sense that, you know, he or whoever wrote this song, these words are an acknowledgement of the masquerade, of the actual avoidance of looking at the self, and instead of creating this charade and this masquerade as of this person as a man with a reason and being the event of the season, and then being honest and being able to say with humility, and if I claim to be a wise man, well, it surely means that I don't know.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that could be a little bit of a hint towards that, and just that way, that in that very human way, that there is an avoidance of sometimes looking at the things that are difficult to look at within ourselves.
Well, because on a stormy sea of moving emotion, I'm tossed about like a ship on the ocean.
Which happens to be the very next lines.
And that's why people don't want to look at it. It brings up
Exactly.
stuff. It brings up emotion. It brings up things you don't want to look at.
Absolutely.
And then you set a course. It says, I set a course for winds of fortune. But, I hear the voices say. So, in other words, when you're masquerading and when you're having a charade and claiming to be a wise man, you will probably be on a stormy sea of moving emotion,
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And you're going to get tossed about.
Yes.
And so that's when you, for lack of a better thing, you pick up the oar and you start going, no, I need to go this way. I need to go this way. I need to go towards my winds of fortune.
Absolutely.
And all the voices say is, carry on, lay your head to rest, don't cry. You will always remember nothing equals the splendor.
Yes, because when on a stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about, I'm like a ship on the ocean. To me, this leads itself to the idea of creating your own abundance, and the words that I cannot remember, but it is a plan for abundance. Mm-hmm. It is the simple phrase that a lot of people use as a modality these days. And I can't remember what it's called. The words are totally eluding me. And people teach it.
The law of attraction.
The law of attraction. Thank you. This is in Kansas. Carry on, my wayward son. You heard it first here, maybe. This is the law of attraction right here in the song.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to. Yeah.
Right. So your life is no longer empty, and heaven waits for you.
Exactly. And even though,
Yeah.
as you go through these masquerades and charades and on these stormy seas, set that course for those winds of fortune, because you will hear the voices say, carry on.
Yeah. They're always there with you,
Always.
for you. Just ask. Right?
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Yay. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, what a beautiful song.
Yes.
Listen to it by Kansas. Carry on, my wayward son.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us
Thank
on
you.
another episode of
Lyrical Wisdom.